Hello anybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Legacy. I'm Mr. Devious, or just Deeb, and in the last episode, we cleared out Forest Abkhazia again. We killed Alexander IV and beat just the area in general. And we also beat his reincarnated version from New Game Plus. So that means in today's episode, we're going to be heading up into the Maya. So we're going to have fun times ahead of us. And for our first character that we're going to pick, I'm kind of tempted to re-roll the children just to see if I can get new abilities that we haven't seen yet. And I did it, so here we are. However, there's nothing that we haven't already seen, but we haven't been a mage in a while, so... And this is a tiny mage, so let's be this tiny mage heading up into the Maya. Now, we made a lot of money from killing the boss in the last episode and clearing out the forests, so where are we going to put it, one might ask? Well, we could really put up our magic damage a lot. So we'll put that up some. We'll increase our weight a little bit. And then, just to top it off, we're going to put the rest also into magic damage. So now, our fireballs do 150 per hit. Our spike balls are pretty strong. In general, I think we're going to be sitting pretty. Sitting pretty. You know what I'm saying. Now here's the Retribution Sword that we got, which we're not going to get because we don't really need it. What else is there to get? Well, as you can see, there's only one cape left. There's the Imperial Cape, which just isn't as good as, you know, all these other abilities. And then there's the Holy Cape, which does increase mana, admittedly, but, you know, we're going to be mostly going for this equipment that's on the far right now, even though we only have so many suits of armor left to get. Anyway, I've been kind of delaying a little bit, so let's just stop doing that and get into the castle. Back into Castle Hampson and back up above to continue our quest. By the way, when you look at the door, the greens just mean that you, like the green icons instead of blue, just mean that you've killed the optional boss fights against, like, Neo Kidder and them. So yeah, that's what that is. So our ascent up should go fairly quickly and fairly smoothly this time around because we have the fortune of being an archmage who has an axe. So our weapons should fling upwards pretty easily and we shouldn't have too difficult of a time just getting up there in general. Also, we're a dwarf, so we can take advantage of secret paths like that. And then we can also, you know, use the fireballs, which with the mage, it lasts a lot longer because you're a mage. You're a damn mage. Up here is just, you know, a room with fireball shooters, nothing special. And we've got ourselves a carnival. Haven't seen one of these in a little bit. 5 axes, 10 targets. We might not do so well this time around because we're a dwarf, and that might change our starting position for where we throw these axes. And I think I already screwed this up. Yeah. It just wasn't meant to be. Shut up, clown. I still destroyed enough to get a bit of money, and that counts for something, in my book. Nothing in that room, though. Also, this is a case of, because it costs me 11 MP to use an axe, and I get 13 MP back per kill, if I can kill with the axes on the first hit, I actually get money back for using them, so that's cool. And that's definitely one of the things that makes the Archmage really good in the late game, is once you get the ability to use, once you get the ability to basically siphon back magic for yourself, it goes a lot easier. And we defeated all the enemies with our random flying spike balls, and we didn't even have to spend that much mana to do it. For our effort, we got an upgrade, which is very nice. And we can just keep going on. And we found Kidder's boss door, good old reliable Kidder's boss door. If nothing else, we can always rely on it to exist. And this guy could just, he could get away. That would be nice if he just screwed off. Over here, well, we despawned a coin, so that's not so great. Get some meat, even though we don't need it. Dash over here, get the money. It's kind of weird doing this game in New Game Plus for a recording because commentary just kind of comes and goes as it's granted. Like, there isn't necessarily a lot of new things that are going on that you can really talk about, but there are situations that are more available to you and more strategies to discuss now that you're in New Game Plus, and your stats are so much higher now and so much more increased and all of that. And we actually made it up to the Maya pretty quickly this time around. And look, we found ourselves a little upgrade slash, not an upgrade, but a secret tunnel. A secret tunnel for our secret magic. How lovely. We'll get the money over here, and then we'll clear out the rest of this room, because as with the other places, we're going to hopefully clear out as much of the Maya as we can before we go on to face Ponce de Leon. How could I forget his name? Ponce de Leon's my favorite boss in this game. That wasn't very nice to forget. We've been doing pretty well on progress, though. It only took us 2 episodes to beat the 2 episodes for both not Ponce de Leon, but 2 episodes for both Kidder and Alexander the Great. God, I just cannot talk today very easily. So I'm not expecting that it'll take too long for us to beat Ponce de Leon, especially since he doesn't have any minions that he summons aside from his fireballs themselves and I guess the spike balls that are bouncing around, but other than that, he doesn't really get a major upgrade for his fight, and that goes a long way. So I guess we'll see. Fireballs will do their job. Even though I probably shouldn't have used that much MP, or have done that. And this fireball might just kill us, this pyrite, if we're not careful. However, it all works out in the end. We just need to get this guy, and he is surprisingly hard to hit. However, we're not going to give up, and he's taken care of, and we get our treasure for all of that stress. Whew. Also, it probably goes without saying that because of the huge money boost you get from New Game Plus, it goes a lot faster just because you're going to be upgrading a lot faster than before. So that's also part of the reason why we've been doing so much better, is because our stats have been just accelerating so much faster, especially since we don't have to spend any of our money on the more expensive crap, like the much more expensive crap, armor notwithstanding, but you know what I mean. Well, there's one. And we're dead. I'm still not great at using archmages. I should have used magic, I know, but I was getting frustrated with trying to aim it at that ninja. But I know that's no excuse. Well, it's fine. That was just the first life going up there. Next, we are going to be using a paladin. Lady Faye the Fifth, the paladin. And what will we upgrade with all of this? Well, let's see if we can get any new equipment in here in the meantime. We can get this new sword, which it does slightly less damage, but it has a lot more potential for getting critical hits. Also, it does 50% damage return, so it does some nice retribution damage without sacrificing much in return. So I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. As for the rest of our money, let's see. Let's increase our crit chances. Just because it's really, really nice to have higher crit chances. Incidentally, how much does it cost for me to buy new runes at this point? How much does a new rune cost? Oh wow, they're really cheap actually. Well, in that case, I think I'm going to take off one of the bounty runes and replace it with... Actually, I think I'm going to replace it with a haste rune. Because going faster is nice. Even though that might be my undoing if I'm not careful. But hey, I've got money to spend, and I said earlier in the LP that you should experiment with runes and all of that, and I haven't been doing that so much because I've been pretty stubborn about keeping on what I've had on, so I haven't been getting the most out of it. Also, I'm going the wrong way. This is a bad idea to go down. We're not going down, we're going up. This room is just a wall of turrets. We've seen it before. This room leads to a dead end, but hey, look. As you can see, we can't get those guys. What I was gonna say is, as you see, we can tank a lot more damage now from the enemies in the castle. So we're already at a position again in New Game Plus where the enemies in the castle don't do that much damage. Also, you might notice that these enemies are not upgraded to their Tier 2 versions, even though we're on New Game Plus. And the reason for that is that certain enemies are like hard-coded into certain rooms, so they don't upgrade. And I don't know if that was an unintentional thing or deliberate. I could see it being a deliberate choice because I could see a room like that being a nightmare with all pupils instead of just normal eyeballs, and you don't want to deal with that. I'm pretty sure you really don't want to deal with that. In the meantime, let's heal ourselves up a bit. Also, kill this dude. Even though this doesn't take us anywhere where we want to go, and we're taking unnecessary damage again, would you please get out of here? We really need to upgrade our damage, by the way. Next time I die, next time I get some money to spend, I'm going to put it into raising our attack, because we are not doing as much damage as we should be. And I know part of that, I know that's mostly because I haven't been increasing attack as much as I should be, but, you know, that's just how a game like this goes. Sometimes you don't prioritize upgrading things that you should, and then you pay for it later. On the plus side, we're still getting through here not too badly. Oh, what am I talking about? We're still having quite a bit of trouble. So we'll just put this on the Visionary so we can worry about the Grey Barons and take care of them, and thankfully these aren't portraits. I mean, they are portraits, but they're not Doomtrits. They're not going to come to life and try to kill us, and that much is appreciated. We can't... Can we? Oh, that's a tease. That's a big tease. But no, we cannot hit the enemy that lies below. And in the meantime, though, we're going to keep going over to the right and try to get up to the Maya again, because it doesn't look like it's going to be super easy to get to this time around with the options we have. Okay, it looks like this might even actually be a dead end if we keep going down this way, but we'll never know until we get there. I mean, who knows? Castle orientation can get really weird. And does this lead into the forest or the Maya? It leads to both, actually. Because here's the forest. Here's the forest again. And if we go up above, here's the Maya. Just as expected. And a treasure chest we can't get to. That's not very nice, game. That's not very nice, game, at all. Alright, get over here, buddy. Alright. So now it's time for us to... Ow! Ascend into the castle. And look for the door that we're looking for. And also try to keep the enemies at bay more than we did last time. But that's not going to be too difficult, because while we're not giant, we are an endomorph. So we are big enough that we get a little bit extra range, and enough extra range to actually start hitting enemies up here. And this room's a dead end, but we may as well see what's in here. Oh, just a big ol' Hulk guard. Well, that's not worth the risk of going over there to try and see what's on the other side of a dead-end room, so we'll just keep going this way. Down here is an Ison. Ison isn't too worrying. Got ourselves another guard box. Flippin' ouch! Goddamn arch boxes. Not arch boxes, but guard boxes. What is with my commentary today? It just feels a little weird, and I should have definitely seen that coming. I guess I'm just playing a little rusty today. We're dead. That could have gone a lot better. I'll be the first to admit that. I mean, we still killed a lot of enemies, but wasn't super proud of how that went. But look at this paladin. He's huge. I have to pick him. I have to pick this enormous paladin. You know I have no choice. Okay. And what are we going to increase? I said we need to increase our damage, right? So let's just increase that. Alright, everybody. It's time for us to go back in. And when I say everybody, I'm like talking to the family in-game, but also you, and I'm gonna stop talking. So, thinking about it, how much money do you think a suit of armor this huge would cost? I mean, it is enormous. It's ridiculously big. It's hilarious, but, you know, look at the size of it. At least we get incredible reach with our blade, and that's really nice. However, if we do make it to Ponce de Leon in this life, it's not going to be the greatest for us because his whole thing is that you got to weave in between his fireballs, and we're not going to have a ton of room to work with in that case. And it looks like we were able to juke that spike ball, even though we should not have been able to do that. But we did. We did. And I'm not ashamed of it. But where do we have to go to get up higher in this place? Up higher in this place. Not to the left, but there is treasure in here, so we're gonna keep going up to get the treasure in here. That's all supposed to, you know, that's just inherently true in what I'm saying. However, in other news, we're already seeing the effects of the critical chance up on, or like the attack damage that we increased. We're already killing enemies a lot faster again, and that's really appreciated. And it's something we could have afforded to do before. Alright, Bodus, you're not too bad. It's just a question of what move you're gonna do and when, and the fact of the matter is, he's not a difficult fight. Once you learn his patterns, which is really just the 2 moves, he's easy. He's pretty easy. But it's just a matter of whether or not he'll hit you enough to kill you, because his damage he does a lot of damage, and that's his main gimmick. He hits hard despite his slowness, and his slowness is kind of deceptive too, in that, you know, he looks slow and he walks slow, but his attacks, when he does attack, though easy to dodge, are fast. Like, his wind-up is slow, but his attacks go quick and dangerous. And as for these enemies, we didn't need to come down here, but I just felt like it. Part of me just felt like falling down into the depths of the castle, because part of me decided, let's lose some life. I want to lose some life. I don't care that I'll be losing life, I just want to go down into the castle. Even though I said we were going to go up into the Maya. What is wrong with me sometimes? So we'll keep ascending through the castle, as per usual. Now this room used to just have all normal eyes, but these ones have been replaced with pupils, and this alone, you can see why this has gotten more difficult. If it was one of those vertical rooms with all the pupils on the side, then I don't even know if it would be possible to get up to the top without getting hit. So there is a chance that just for the sake of, like, sanity that they didn't upgrade those enemies, but it could, again, it could have also just been a glitch. Or not a glitch, not really a glitch so much as just, I'm not even sure what you would classify it as, just, I don't know. I just don't know. But it does seem like something they would intentionally have to program in, like, these enemies will always spawn as this enemy. And in New Game Plus, they would have to make those eyeballs that are small stay small, like, they would have to be a separate group from the eyeballs that get upgraded into Tier 2 eyeballs, right? So either that separate group was they forgot to upgrade it, or they just made it so it didn't upgrade at all, that they excluded it from the upgrading, so that players could get through that room without wanting to rip their eyes out. So yeah, that's my theory. My theory is that it was intentional, that they deliberately chose not to upgrade the eyeballs in those certain rooms, and certain enemies in certain rooms. Just, you know, just because it was just more player-friendly, and just because it wouldn't have been fair for them to be pupils. It would have been too difficult to dodge the hazards in that room, and probably nigh impossible. Probably not impossible, but hard enough. Hard enough, how about that? Now we're taking a bit more damage than I would like to in here, so hopefully we're gonna find some meat and all of that, and we're gonna start doing a little bit better. Our reach is nice, but the Maya has kind of tight quarters to deal with, and that makes things difficult to manage and get through and all of those fun things. And we got a Doom Trit chasing us now. Get ourselves some money, some cash money. Little do you know, Hulk Guard, that putting us against a wall is actually to our advantage, and that's kind of funny. Down here, we just got more enemies and more missiles, but Axe also is really... Axe is just kind of a good sub-weapon all around, whether you're ascending or descending. If there's verticality involved, you can usually use it in a very nice way. And that's why, if you can choose between an axe and a knife, I usually suggest going with the axe, because the knife gets you some really nice range and all, but it doesn't account for verticality, and for verticality, and your sword covers you horizontally, so that's kind of why you would want to get the axe over the knife, is it fills in a certain hole. Also, this thing is a monster. I knew it was coming, because of its hard black outlines. We've almost got it though, there it is. Strength increased, very nice. We took some damage, but thankfully with the retribution aspect on our sword, we were able to bounce some of it back. So that much is nice. And we already took a little bit of damage, and we're already critically low on HP. And I'm just not gonna bother with that room because I don't want to risk taking a hit. That was dumb. And we got the Slayer chestplate though, so that was not dumb. We will use the Paladin's ability for once though there, so that was nice. And we actually used it there for once. And we found the boss door, thank God, because we're gonna get to heal up some HP. On the downside though, we're still hurting pretty badly, so we're gonna have to make a more concerted effort to actually use the Paladin's ability while we go around and heal up a bit. This room is to take no damage, and I think we can do that. The axe thankfully gets us just enough range to hit this dude. And this dude as well. And thankfully the cheapness of the axe makes it more viable to use. Don't juke my axes! Don't act like you're smart enough to know how to dodge, you jerk. Spike Ball's chasing after us, but that's okay. This is also a good way to heal because it's an easy way to kill these guys, and it also destroys their balls, and their balls are worth 2 kills each as well, so that's just really nice. That's the other reason I'm kind of doing this, is because it's really good for our recovery. And we're almost at the end here, even though it's cost us a lot of our mana, and I do feel bad about that, but you know what they say. Sacrifice mana before HP. And this Spike Ball's chasing us. Okay, we should be fine now. And our magic damage is increased, not bad. Ow! And I took my eyes off the screen for 1 second and I took a Spike Ball to the face, but that's okay because it did like only 2 damage. So who even cares? Now, is there anything else, any other room that we can hopefully heal in a little bit easier? Well, here's some mana and we took spike damage. That's great. It's not great at all. I don't want to go in that room. It is too many spikes and nonsense. We'll knock that guy back a little bit. Kill him. Get ourselves some treasure. We haven't seen many mimics in the New Game Plus, and that's been a little bit disappointing. By which I mean not very disappointing at all, because mimics can be frustrating in their higher tiers. They're not really any different than before, they just do much damage, and if I remember correctly, they just jump around more erratically than they did before. Also, we're back on the other side of this room, which we should clear out just for the sake of making sure it's done and safe. And we're almost done clearing it out, actually. That was pretty quick. But I guess that's just kind of a side effect of the enemies coming to you to get killed. I'm gonna let that spike ball go overhead. I was trying to see if the game would tell me its name, but it didn't. Okay, so how are we gonna do this exactly? Okay, so there's a Worgen down here, and he hit us. That's great. I hate Worgens so much. And Sir Gons the Fifth has been slain by a pupil. Well, that's disappointing. But hey, we killed a mini-boss, so that counts for something. Now, I would do another life, but this episode's starting to get a little long by New Game Plus standards, so I'm going to stop it here, and hopefully we're going to clear out the Maya in the next episode, the Maya New Game Plus. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's episode and the progress we did make within. So, yeah, if you want to see more of the Maya and our attempts at beating it, then I just hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!